Yo, what's up, man? Let's get into this aftermath of this election. This is the Executive Mindset with JB Jamal Brown. It is what it is, man. I've seen people gloating, cheering, and really just giving it to the people that actually voted for Kamala and that ticket over there. Like, I mean, I get it because a lot of people was talking like real greasy, right? Having a lot of comments to say, and yeah, it's that's really not my style, so to speak, because at the end of the day, everybody knew who I was going for. I was going with Trump. You know what I'm saying? And then, but when you say that, it's like you're going for him as a person. I went for him because of policy. I went for him because I was sticking to the script. I was sticking to the word. Yep. And I know what Holy Spirit was telling me, right? So, all this other stuff, when people want to, talk about MAGA and the whole thing, man, I was just doing what I was told, bruh. At the end of the day, was being obedient to what I know. I heard the things I know that I've seen, the agenda that is not even hidden. You know what I'm saying? Like all the stuff that I had issues with, this stuff is not hidden. It's out in front. It's straight out. I don't care at all about identity politics. I'll sit alone by myself on that stance. I do not care. I mean, quite honestly, I'm probably the only one in my family, immediate family at least, that felt this way, right? So it's been this way for years, bro. Like I don't care, bro. At the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I want to do, but most importantly, I'm gonna do what I feel Holy Spirit is telling me to do and the way the word is leading me. You know what I'm saying? I had a close family member. I don't want to say their name, but I actually asked them. I was like, why did you vote for Kamala? Just to kind of get some context behind it, and they said, because they wanted to make history. Bruh. They wanted to see history, right? Nothing about a policy, nothing about what you think, would be best for the nation, nothing about morality. Like, it was just about history. And so stuff like that, I cannot stand because, however you want to come at it, from a spiritual aspect or from an economic aspect, like, oh man, but I do think this is a good thing, at least for the Democrats to kind of regroup. And let me say this as well, man. Politics is a tool, right? I had my co-host El Presidente was talking about this, and he he doesn't vote, he doesn't get into that thing anymore. And he gave his reasons and was talking about how the Bible, says in the end times the Antichrist is going to get in because of the voting system. We're going to get him in there like that, so that's the reason why he don't vote. Like, whatever with that. Like, also in the end times, it's going to be, commerce, you know what I'm saying? As far as like Google Pay and, your debit card and stuff like that. So we're going to stop using, our debit card and other technologies that is so, because they may use a form of that in the end times. It just sounds silly to me, man. Because at the end of the day, politics is a tool. That's what it's used for. It's a tool. You know what I'm saying? You can trust God and still use things as tool. Like, people can say, God is my source, right? God is my source. I don't depend on nobody. Okay, well, stop going to your job. Stop going to your job, okay? But that'll be too outlandish, right? But if God is your source, no, you have a secular job or a regular job to supplement for what you believe and what you say God is your source, right? So, all the outlandish views and stuff like that, man, it is what it is. Anything can be used as a tool. That's politics, that's hip hop, that's the entertainment business, that's, your small business. You know what I'm saying? It can be anything. And so politics can be used as a tool. People have made it as a god, as idolatry and all this stuff. But that's not my angle. You know what I'm saying? That's never been my angle. My angle is I made a Preacher Man video talking about trusting God. Right. And so if I trust God, I just can't say it. I have to, you know what I'm saying? What am I doing to show that I trust God, that I love him? I'm going to obey his word. So, and so when it comes to the government, only thing that I know what to do is vote, and even when it came to the national election, it wasn't just the president voting for the president on there. I know in the city of Memphis, they had different referendums on there with gun laws and stuff like that. And so it's just not about that. And so if you're going to vote, the main thing is whatever it is, the governor, mayor, but then in on that ballot is a lot of other stuff that you got to vote for. And so you do your research and you do what you believe is best according to the word, according to the things that you've heard that are real, that are true. So, but like I was saying, I think the Democrat Party needs to regroup. Thankfully, enough people, at least it's a whole lot of people that still believe what they believe, but you know what I'm saying, I was pleasantly surprised. You know what I'm saying? I want to say pleasantly surprised. I thought Trump would probably win in a landslide anyway, if everything was all straight down the middle and fair. And so you never knew, you never know. And so I do think a lot of prayer and intercession really helped the situation out with that. Not just, obviously people actually doing something, going out to the polls, but I believe it was, something else in the background to really, assist on that. And so, but the Democratic Party, I think they just need to do a reboot. A lot of people that I know that don't have a platform or don't speak out, pretty much felt the same way that I do and that I did when it came to that election. Just all the celebrities that had coming out and just doing all the shows and concerts and stuff. It was just obviously insulting to the intelligence, right? Like it was egregious to a point, And so I think a lot of people saw through that. And a lot of people didn't say a word about it. They didn't have it. They didn't take a side anywhere. They just went out there and did what they did in the voting booth. But yeah, am I happy that Trump got in to a degree? Yes, because I do believe he's more in line to do with policy wise that will help us out. Not even as believers, just as a nation. You know what I mean? As what people say, get into the bag, right? As far as small business wise and all that stuff. Like, I think it's a good thing, but it's just he's a tool, man. It's a tool at the end of the day. Will he do things that I won't agree with? Sure. Like that's with anybody. You don't 100% agree with anybody, but I don't believe in the notion that, no matter what, no matter who's in there or do whatever, like God can change their heart. That is true. God can change their heart. But I'll put an example out there. Like for a man, if you get married or you're dating out there, you're dating to get married, and you see all these red flags with this particular lady that you dating, right? And a lot of things you don't like, whether that's smoking, other little stuff that she does. Like, are you going to just be with that person or elect to be with that person, and be like, God, change their heart later? No, you're going to get the person that most aligns to what you want and what you believe in. And then if it happened to change later on, you deal with it then, right? And so this is the same thing when it comes to politics or something, man. You don't pick somebody that's blatantly against certain things and then just hoping and wishing and praying that God change their heart later. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. That's silly. So, yeah, man, it is what it is, man. I'm cooling. I'm doing what I do, and I'm gonna have other guests on, probably on the presidential executive, and then on the executive mindset and the preacher man about having different people to talk about just kind of the aftermath and get into some real heavy details and all that stuff like that. So, so we'll see, man. So again, I'm all good. I'm fine. Obviously, I was for Trump, voted for Trump, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. And people that have a problem with it, like, I would just have a frank conversation with them and ask them, why do you not like him, or not even like him? Why did you vote for her on the other side. And every person, I promise you, every person that I've talked to and actually asked that question, they couldn't answer it, or they gave some crazy answer, or they gave answer that they heard on the media and stuff. It was just, people are so uninformed that it's alarming. To be honest, it's straight alarming. And so, and I don't even want to get into the believing the spiritual aspect. That is what it is. I've spoken that before, but just looking at it straight down the line, taking the spiritual aspect out. People pockets hurting. Inflation is crazy. People that live in those battleground states, the situation with those people not being able to have jobs and stuff like that. Like, if you didn't see the agenda or see kind of what's going on, man, it's wild. And pretty much all the migrants that were coming into the U.S. were planted in those battleground states. And that's not a coincidence. You know what I mean? Like, the fix was on, man. And so at the end of the day, we know God is in control. Yet we also know that he can use tools, in order to help either push his agenda or make things more easy on us, right? But then it's up to us to actually take advantage of it. So that's what I plan to do. Take advantage of it as much as possible. Get to the bag, do what we do. Yeah, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. Until next time, salute.